Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Will. I'm with Transform with Will, and today I'm bringing you Cody. He's been a part of the program for a couple weeks now, and he's actually been really successful. So I'm looking forward to having him come on and just share some of his experiences and give you a little idea of who he is, what he does, and how the program has helped him out. So, Cody, thanks for coming on. I'm looking forward to chatting with you.
I'm glad to be here, Will. Thanks for having me.
Very welcome, brother. So, in the beginning here, tell me a little bit about yourself, or not me, I kind of know about you, but tell the crew, tell everybody that's watching a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, hi, crew. My name is Cody James Aiken, and I close high ticket sales remotely. And I love, getting outdoors. I love reading, and I love strategic planning. And as I've recently discovered, I love that. Well, working out, or at least the after effects of working out.
Like we know about the after effects. We've talked about that. What kind of problems did you have prior to joining the program?
Yeah. So what I noticed was, as I do my daily journaling and reflections, I'm constantly asking myself, like, okay, how can I make the most of any one experience? And after joining a different program, they encourage daily exercise. So I started doing that and feeling like, you know what, I feel like I could be doing more. So in my journaling and reflection, I was asking myself, I'm like, okay, well, how would I, level up my physical appearance, specifically to, make the most of that time, but eventually attract my future wife. And it was kind of surprising that as I dug deeper into that reflection, I began to realize how much like my body image and how I see myself started affecting how I approach relationships. And what I saw was, um, as I dug deeper and really understood, it's like, okay, how deep does this actually go? I saw that my sort of disappointment in my own body was causing doubts really in sort of how I approach people, especially in terms of a relationship. So long story short, when I got to the bottom of that reflection, I sort of boiled it down to this. I was like, why would she be attracted to me if I'm not even attracted to me? You know, if I'm not proud of my body, why would she be proud to have me?
That's incredible, man. Why did you? So, when it came down to just choosing a program, you said you tried a different program before, and I like how the program we're talking about instilled fitness and just wanted to get it on a daily basis. But why did you choose to join my program?
Yeah, so their program just encouraged daily exercise. It didn't say how much, how little, what to do, anything like that. It just said exercise. And so I had just sort of been running, doing basic cardio stuff, and I love the feeling, of having more energy. But it didn't have sort of the structure of, okay, if you want to actually level up your physical fitness and eventually your appearance, how you would actually do that. And after knowing Will personally for the last year and a half, obviously he is the best result of his own product. And I'm like, man, I would love to have a body like his. And I saw how hard he worked to put his program together. And especially in just personal conversations, seeing how much he actually cares about helping people, achieve their physical transformations. And so I pretty much knew, I was like, I don't want to work with anybody else but Will.
Practice what you preach. You know, was there anything like in particular with my program that really helped you, and why do you think that that was so effective?
Yeah, so it was actually having the structure, sort of like the what to do, why to do it from A to Z. I like that I didn't have to figure anything else out, working with you one on one, really from the very beginning, where it's like, okay, let's make sure that your nutrition is on point, and then from there, get into the intro workouts and then into the training workouts. It was all laid out for me. So it was really sort of like having a roadmap to a physical transformation. And I love that because I didn't feel like I needed to guess, what to do or when to do it. I just needed to do it. And having that simple roadmap made it very, I don't want to say easy, but it made it so much easier to take action.
What are your outcomes? How you feeling after implementing the program?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. And yes, so still working through the program. I joined middle of March. It's the 1st of May now. So I've been in the program for about 6 weeks. And let me tell you, like, I'm not where I want to be physically. And if you expect to get where you want to be physically in the next 6 weeks, get a reality check. Rome wasn't built in a day. For me, I know my body's not where I want it to be, but Rome wasn't built in a day. So I know that I'm working on it. But let me tell you this, here's what I've really found going through the program so far. I show up different. When I walk into a room, I'm no longer ashamed to be there. When I go to meet somebody, I'm not afraid of them or their judgment. And when I look in the mirror, I don't see disappointment. I see progress, and progress feels good. And you can't put a price on that.
That is powerful. You know, I was just gonna ask like how your life has changed from joining the program, but that is huge. The way you walk into a room, man, really sets the tone for what happens when you leave that room, the impact that you leave. So, like, how has your life changed outside of that? I mean, that's huge already.
Yeah, absolutely. So over the last month, I've been doing a ton of networking, for business, and especially like sort of face to face. And let me tell you, it shows up. Just meeting people, new people for the first time, because I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I show up with a new level of confidence, and I mean, that buys me so much when I go to meet somebody. Because if I'm doubting what I'm saying, especially when it comes to sales and marketing, then they're going to doubt my effectiveness of what I do. And just because I sort of have that conviction behind my voice and feel it in my spirit, they honestly they take more of my word up front, which has been awesome. But yeah, so much more, confidence as I go and approach people, interpersonal relationships, of course. But honestly, it's the relationship that I have with myself that I feel like I've been experiencing the most growth. So, like I said, when I look in the mirror, I don't see the disappointment. I see progress. And for being 28 years old, I've seen a lot of disappointment in the mirror, you know. So for the first time in a long time, especially when it comes to my body, actually seeing progress and experiencing that new level of confidence, that's life changing.
I was just gonna ask also like where you think you would be if you hadn't started.
Oh man. Well, I don't really want to think about it, but if I had to be honest, I would still, in a way, probably still feel like a failure. I know I wouldn't be showing up with confidence. I know I would feel ashamed, walking into a room and even just looking in the mirror, seeing the disappointment. So if I hadn't joined the program, I would still be in that sort of miserable state, sort of doubting myself. And honestly, I wouldn't want anybody to feel like that, but I felt like if I didn't actually say yes to the program, that's where I would be.
That's and this is in just a few weeks, man. Imagine a couple months and imagine a lifetime, the rest of your lifetime. You know, like some people think, oh man, a year is just so much time to invest into my health. But then when you look at the broad scale of things on a bigger scale, you know, if you're around 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, taking a year out of your life to really focus is really just a small amount of time. It's just getting through each daily chapter. That's the tough part in the beginning. And you're getting through it on a regular. I love to see it, man. We have our calls on a weekly basis, and every time we get in touch, you're growing every single time. There's challenges, which I love, but they don't stop you. You know, we've never had a conversation where it's like, you know, I just don't think this is going to work. It's always just like, what adjustments can we make, and then how do we come back better? You know, so most of my coaching calls are trying to um, convince people to experience the strongest and healthiest version of themselves. So if there was somebody on the fence right now thinking about joining the program or thinking about just taking control of their health, if they were on the fence, what's something that you would say to them about joining the program?
Hmm. You know what? I would probably challenge them with a question. I'd probably challenge them and ask, it's like, are you proud of the body you see in the mirror? Of the man, of a woman you see in the mirror? You feel like you don't belong in your own skin? You want to change that? Well, then you know what to do.
Are you proud where you're currently? I love that. You know, and I think most people know what the answer to that is. And I think it's just a moment of having to be honest with themselves, you know, and even with ourselves, with yourself, with myself, we look in that mirror daily. And that can be the most critical person that we end up communicating with on a daily basis. So, you know, we all need a coach in some shape or form. We all need to be accountable to somebody and most importantly ourselves. So you're definitely killing it, man. I love to see it. I love to be a part of the journey. And I really hope that really anybody watching this can connect with either myself or even Cody's experience and just hopefully you heard something that maybe you said to yourself or maybe you've thought to yourself, or you've had conversations with family or your significant other, and it just may be time to take charge and take control. So, Cody, any last thoughts? Anything else you want to leave some people with?
Yeah. So one of the things that I feel like has been a real advantage to me, not only getting started, but staying going, is realizing how much staying the same is actually costing me. When I started to project, okay, 5 years down the line, let's say I want to start a future family. Obviously, there's a few things that need to happen before then, like finding the woman I want to, marry. And if I could never bring myself to be proud of myself or develop the sort of, whether it's body, personality, or even just the confidence, the worthiness, that sense of worthiness to have a serious relationship with somebody, would I be putting that future in jeopardy? I very realistically saw it's like, okay, if I don't make a change now, there's a good chance that I will never feel worthy of her. And then I'll never take that relationship seriously. And I'll inadvertently basically break it off. And I'm not about to basically repeat some of the mistakes I've made in my past. So I knew going in, if I don't change this, there's a very serious cost. And if anybody's on the fence wondering, it's like, well, what is it costing you? Ask yourself that question, write it down, and don't stop until you get to the bottom of it. Because I guarantee you, you don't need motivation. You just need clarity. Because once you have that clarity of what it's actually costing you, you'll find the motivation.
Absolutely. This is one of those teacher becomes a student moment, man. I'm thinking relationship, I'm thinking financially, I'm thinking physically, all of that. Thinking about it all. Is like, how much is it really costing me to stay the same and not take action? Because I will always be a student. I like to consider myself one of the best students in the room. And the best students always recognize each other. And so we're always growing. But even you just saying that right there kind of put some thoughts in my mind, truly, just to even say to myself in the mirror, you know, how much is it really costing me to not take action? We all have something to work. So I hope that all of you watching this learn just like I did. And Cody, again, I'm proud of you. Glad to have you as a part of my journey and be a part of yours. Thank you for coming on. And we'll talk soon, brother.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me, Will. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside of the program.
All right. So let's be honest. What did you think about that? I personally love seeing that energy coming out of Cody because I remember when we first met, we met at a huge seminar, and I just remember how he used to be, how he used to walk around. Not that he was this really shy, timid person, but I can see a dramatic difference in his confidence. And I can only imagine how he's walking into rooms now, how he's doing his business transactions, how he's pitching himself, and ultimately how he's coming across and showing up in a room when he walks in. Now, if you've connected with anything that either him or I said or anything, if you thought to yourself, what could I really do? How much is it costing me to stay the same and not take action? I want you to erase that thought because what we're going to do is get on a call. All you got to do is go to callwithwill.com and you'll be able to actually schedule yourself on my calendar. We're going to get together on a quick 30-minute free phone call. And all I'm going to do is hear exactly where you're at, where you're trying to go. And then I'm going to break down the process on how to get there. Whether it's me working with you or just giving you some guidance, we have got to set the tone for your future. This is your potential future. You're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to make some moves. But I really believe that you can do it once you start to believe in yourself. So again, callwithwill.com. My name's Will Myers. I appreciate you watching this, and I'll see you soon.